Chapter 1. The Perilous Plunge. The blaring alarms reverberated through the cramped confines of the starship's bridge as Captain Zara Raven gripped the helm with white-knuckled intensity. The once pristine control panels now flickered and sparked, illuminating the determined faces of her crew as they frantically worked to keep the ship together. "Shields at 20%!" Lieutenant Kai Solaris shouted over the cacophony of battle. "We can't take much more of this, Captain!" Zara gritted her teeth, her emerald eyes scanning the view screen where the hostile alien fleet swarmed like angry hornets. The sleek, menacing ships darted in and out of view, their relentless barrage of laser fire battering the already battered hull of Zara's vessel. "Reroute all available power to the shields," Zara commanded, her voice steady despite the chaos surrounding her. "And prepare the hyperdrive for an emergency jump." "But Captain," Kai protested, his brow furrowed with concern, "we're too close to the Velorum Nebula. Jumping now could send us straight into its heart." Zara's gaze drifted to the looming expanse of the nebula, its swirling cosmic clouds painting the starscape in hues of crimson and violet. She knew the risks, the tales of ships forever lost within its mysterious depths, but with their options dwindling and the enemy closing in, she saw no other choice. "It's our only chance," Zara said firmly, her decision made. "I'd rather take my chances with the unknown than face certain destruction at the hands of these marauders." As if on cue, another volley of laser fire rocked the ship, sending sparks cascading across the bridge. The acrid scent of burning circuitry filled the air as the crew held fast to their stations, their faith in their captain unwavering. "Hyperdrive charged and ready, Captain," Ensign Mira Voss reported from her position at the navigation console. Zara nodded, her finger hovering over the activation switch. "On my mark," she said, her voice cutting through the din of battle. 3, 2, 1, engage!" The stars stretched into infinite lines as the ship lurched forward, the hyperdrive propelling them towards the heart of the nebula. The alien fleet, caught off guard by the sudden maneuver, quickly vanished from the view screen, their angry pursuit thwarted for the moment. But as the ship plunged deeper into the nebula's embrace, the crew's relief was short-lived. Strange energy readings danced across the sensors, and an eerie stillness settled over the bridge. The swirling clouds of cosmic dust seemed to close in around them, as if the nebula itself was alive and aware of their presence. "What's happening?" Kai whispered, his eyes wide with a mix of awe and apprehension. Zara leaned forward, her gaze fixed on the view screen as an enormous, ancient-looking spacecraft emerged from the nebula's depths like a ghostly leviathan. Its hull was pitted and scarred, bearing the marks of countless eons adrift in the cosmic void. "By the stars," Mira breathed, her voice trembling with a mixture of fear and excitement. "What is that thing?" Zara's heart raced as she stared at the derelict vessel, a sense of both trepidation and irresistible curiosity washing over her. She knew, deep in her bones, that this encounter would change the course of their lives forever. "I don't know," Zara replied, a faint smile tugging at the corners of her lips. "But I have a feeling we're about to find out." And with those words, the crew of the starship descended into the nebula's enigmatic embrace, ready to face whatever challenges and mysteries lay ahead. Little did they know, their journey was only just beginning. Chapter 2. Echoes of the Ancients. The derelict spacecraft loomed before them, its massive hull dwarfing their own vessel. Zara stood on the bridge, her eyes scanning the ancient ship for any signs of life or activity. The nebula's eerie glow cast an otherworldly light upon the scene, adding to the sense of mystery and foreboding. "Captain, I'm not detecting any energy signatures or life signs from the ship," Kai reported, his fingers flying across the sensor controls. "It appears to be completely abandoned." Zara's brow furrowed as she considered their options. the prudent choice would be to steer clear of the enigmatic vessel and continue their journey through the nebula. Yet, something deep within her, a burning curiosity that had driven her to explore the stars, compelled her to investigate further. "Prep the shuttle!" Zara ordered, her voice filled with determination. "Kai, Mira, you're with me. We're going to take a closer look." The crew exchanged apprehensive glances, but nodded in acknowledgement. They trusted their captain implicitly and would follow her to the ends of the universe. As the shuttle approached the derelict, Zara's heart raced with anticipation. The ancient ship's hull was pockmarked with scars and strange alien glyphs that seemed to dance in the nebula's shifting light. Mira skillfully guided the shuttle into the gaping maw of the ship's hangar bay, and the team disembarked, their boots clanging against the metallic deck. The interior of the ship was dark and lifeless, the air heavy with the weight of countless centuries. Zara activated her wrist-mounted flashlight, its beam cutting through the gloom to reveal the remnants of a long-dead civilization. Dust-covered consoles and strange, twisted machinery lined the corridors, their purpose lost to the ages. "Captain, over here!" Kai called out, his voice echoing through the empty halls. Zara and Mira rushed to his side, their eyes widening as they beheld the sight before them. A massive circular chamber stretched out before them, its walls adorned with intricate murals and glowing, pulsing runes. In the center of the room stood a towering, crystalline structure, its surface shimmering with an otherworldly energy. "What is this place?" Mira whispered, her voice filled with awe. Before Zara could respond, a sudden tremor rocked the ship, sending the team stumbling. The crystalline structure flared to life, bathing the chamber in a blinding azure light. A deep, resonant hum filled the air as the runes on the walls began to shift and change, forming a language unlike any they had ever seen. "We need to get out of here," Kai urged, his eyes wide with alarm. "This whole place is coming alive." But Zara stood transfixed, her gaze locked on the swirling patterns of light. Amidst the chaos, a single phrase emerged from the alien script, searing itself into her mind. "The key to the universe lies within the heart of the nebula." As quickly as it had begun, the tremors subsided, and the chamber fell dark once more. Zara blinked, shaking off the lingering effects of the strange vision. "Did you see that?" she asked, her voice trembling with excitement. "The message, it's a clue to something incredible." Kai and Mira exchanged worried glances, but before they could voice their concerns, the ship's intercom crackled to life. "Captain!" The panicked voice of their helmsman, Ensign Ryan Zalos, filled the air. "The alien fleet! They've found us! They're closing in fast!" Zara's heart sank as the realization hit her. Their escape into the nebula had only bought them a temporary reprieve. The hostile aliens were still on their tail, and now they were trapped on an ancient, mysterious ship with no means of escape. As the sound of enemy laser fire echoed through the derelict's halls, Zara steeled herself for the challenges that lay ahead. The key to the universe, and perhaps their very survival, hung in the balance. Chapter 3: The Trials of Tenacity. The deck plates shuddered beneath their feet as Zara, Kai, and Mira raced through the ancient ship's twisting corridors. The echoes of distant explosions and the whine of straining metal filled the air, a stark reminder of the enemy's relentless pursuit. "We need to find a way off this ship!" Kai shouted, his voice barely audible over the cacophony of battle. Zara's mind raced as she scanned the alien glyphs lining the walls, desperate for any clue that might lead them to safety. Suddenly, a pattern emerged from the chaos, a series of symbols that seemed to point towards the ship's central core. "This way!" Zara commanded, veering down a narrow passageway. As they plunged deeper into the heart of the vessel, the air grew thick with an unseen energy, prickling their skin and setting their nerves on edge. The passageway opened into a vast circular chamber, its walls lined with pulsing conduits and humming machinery. In the center of the room stood a towering, cylindrical device, its surface etched with intricate glowing patterns. Zara approached cautiously, her hand outstretched, drawn by an inexplicable force. "Captain, wait!" Mira cried out, her voice laced with fear. "We don't know what that thing does!" But it was too late. As Zara's fingers brushed the device's surface, a blinding flash of light engulfed the chamber, accompanied by a deafening roar. The world around them dissolved, replaced by a swirling vortex of color and sound. When the chaos subsided, Zara found herself standing on a plateau of shimmering crystal, surrounded by an alien landscape that defied description. Towering spires of iridescent rock pierced the lavender sky, while rivers of luminescent liquid wound their way through the surreal terrain. "Where are we?" Kai whispered, his eyes wide with wonder and trepidation. Before Zara could respond, a figure emerged from behind a nearby spire, a tall, slender being with translucent skin and eyes that glowed with an inner light. The alien regarded them with a mix of curiosity and caution, its movements graceful and fluid. "I am Xander," the alien spoke, its voice a melodic whisper that seemed to resonate within their minds. "And you are trespassers in the realm of the Velorum." Zara stepped forward, her hand raised in a gesture of peace. "We mean no harm," she said, choosing her words carefully. "We are explorers, seeking knowledge and understanding." Xander tilted its head, a flicker of amusement crossing its ethereal features. "Knowledge and understanding are not freely given, human. They must be earned through trials and sacrifice." As if on cue, the ground beneath their feet began to tremble, and the crystal spires pulsed with an ominous energy. Zara, Kai, and Mira braced themselves as a series of holographic projections materialized around them, each one depicting a unique and perilous challenge. "Prove your worth," Xander declared, its voice echoing through the alien landscape. "Overcome these trials, and the secrets of the nebula shall be yours." Zara exchanged determined glances with her crewmates, the weight of their mission bearing down upon them. They had come too far to turn back now, and the promise of unlocking the universe's mysteries drove them forward. As they stepped towards the first holographic projection, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead, Zara couldn't shake the feeling that their journey had only just begun. The trials of tenacity awaited, and the fate of the galaxy hung in the balance. Chapter 4. Revelations and Betrayals. Zara, Kai, and Mira stood before the shimmering gateway, their bodies battered and their minds weary from the grueling trials they had endured. The holographic projections had tested their strength, ingenuity, and resolve, pushing them to the limits of their abilities. "You have proven your worth," Xander said, its voice tinged with a newfound respect. "The secrets of the nebula are now within your grasp." The gateway parted, revealing a chamber bathed in a soft, pulsing light. In the center of the room stood a pedestal, upon which rested a small, crystalline device that seemed to hum with an inner power. "Behold," Xander whispered, "the heart of the Velorum, a technology so advanced that it could reshape the very fabric of the universe itself." Zara approached the pedestal, her hand trembling as she reached for the device. As her fingers closed around its smooth surface, a surge of energy coursed through her body, filling her mind with visions of countless worlds and civilizations, all connected by the nebula's cosmic web. "This technology," Zara breathed, her voice filled with awe, "it could end the war, bring peace to the galaxy." Xander nodded, its eyes glinting with an unreadable emotion. "Indeed it could, but such power comes with a price." Suddenly, the chamber shook violently, and the sounds of battle echoed through the alien structure. Kai and Mira raced to the entrance, their weapons drawn, as a figure emerged from the shadows, the alien scientist, Xander, flanked by a group of heavily armed soldiers. Xander! Zara gasped, her eyes wide with shock and betrayal. What is the meaning of this? A cold smile played across Xander's lips as it stepped forward, its once ethereal features now hard and unyielding. Did you really think I would let you walk away with the heart of the Velorum? It sneered. Such naivety is unbecoming of a starship captain. Zara's grip tightened around the crystalline device as she slowly backed away from the pedestal, her mind racing with the realization of Xander's true intentions. You used us, she said, her voice low and heavy with anger. You manipulated us into completing your trials, all so you could claim the technology for yourself. Xander laughed, a harsh, grating sound that echoed through the chamber. Of course I did, and now, with the heart of the Velorum in my possession, I will have the power to bend the universe to my will. Kai and Mira moved to flank Zara, their weapons trained on Xander and its soldiers. Captain, Kai said, his voice tense, we need to get out of here. Zara nodded, her eyes never leaving Xander's face. On my signal, she whispered, her fingers tightening around the device. In a blur of motion, Zara dove to the side as Kai and Mira opened fire, their laser blasts cutting through the ranks of Xander's soldiers. Chaos erupted as Zara and her crew fought their way towards the exit, the crystalline device clutched tightly to her chest. As they raced through the alien corridors, the sounds of pursuit close behind, Zara's mind reeled with the weight of Xander's betrayal. The hope of ending the war, of bringing peace to the galaxy, now seemed like a distant dream, replaced by the cold reality of a universe on the brink of chaos. But even as despair threatened to overtake her, Zara knew that she could not give up. The heart of the Velorum was too powerful to fall into the wrong hands, and she would do whatever it took to keep it safe. As they burst out of the alien structure and into the swirling depths of the nebula, Zara steeled herself for the challenges that lay ahead. The betrayal had cut deep, but she knew that the true test of her strength and resolve was yet to come. Chapter 5. The Nemesis Within. Zara sat in the dimly lit confines of her quarters, the heart of the Velorum resting heavily in her hands. The weight of her decisions pressed down upon her, as if the very fabric of the universe was bearing witness to her inner turmoil. The betrayal of Xander had shaken her to the core, forcing her to question everything she had believed in. The dream of ending the war, of bringing peace to the galaxy, now seemed like a foolish fantasy, shattered by the harsh realities of a universe where trust was a rare commodity. As she gazed into the depths of the crystalline device, Zara felt a growing sense of unease. The power it contained was beyond anything she had ever encountered, and the responsibility of wielding such a force weighed heavily upon her shoulders. Captain? The soft voice of Mira broke through her thoughts, and Zara looked up to see the young ensign standing in the doorway, her face etched with concern. What is it, Mira? Zara asked, her voice heavy with exhaustion. The crew is worried, Mira said, stepping into the room. They've heard the rumors about the heart of the Velorum, about its power. They're afraid of what it might do, of what it might mean for us. Zara sighed, running a hand through her tousled hair. I know, she said, her voice barely above a whisper. I'm afraid too. Mira sat down beside her, her eyes fixed on the glowing device. What are you going to do? She asked, her voice trembling slightly. Zara was silent for a long moment, the weight of her choices bearing down upon her. I don't know, she admitted, her voice raw with emotion. But I know that I can't let this power fall into the wrong hands. I have to protect it, no matter the cost. Mira nodded, her eyes shining with a fierce determination. We're with you, Captain, she said, her voice steady and strong. No matter what happens, we'll stand by your side. Zara felt a surge of gratitude and pride for her crew, for their unwavering loyalty and courage in the face of unimaginable adversity. But even as she drew strength from their support, she knew that the greatest battle lay within herself. The heart of the Velorum whispered to her, its power seductive and alluring. It promised her the ability to reshape the universe, to bend the very laws of reality to her will. But Zara knew that such power came with a terrible price, and she feared the darkness that lurked within her own soul. As she sat in the stillness of her quarters, the weight of the universe pressing down upon her, Zara knew that she would have to confront her own demons if she was to emerge victorious. The betrayal of Xander had wounded her deeply, but it was the battle within herself that would ultimately determine the fate of the galaxy. With a heavy heart and a steely resolve, Zara rose to her feet, the heart of the Velorum clutched tightly in her hand. She knew that the road ahead would be fraught with peril and uncertainty, but she was determined to see her mission through to the end. As she stepped out into the corridors of her ship, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead, Zara felt a flicker of hope amidst the darkness. She had her crew, her resolve, and the knowledge that even in the face of betrayal and despair, there was still a chance for redemption. The nemesis within would not defeat her, Zara vowed silently. She would fight, she would endure, and she would emerge stronger than ever before. For the sake of the galaxy and for the sake of her own soul, she would not let the darkness win. Chapter 6. A New Dawn. The battle raged around Zara as she stood on the bridge of her ship, the heart of the Velorum pulsing with an otherworldly energy in her hand. The hostile alien fleet, now under the command of the treacherous Xander, bore down upon them with a relentless fury, their weapons tearing through the void of space. Zara's crew fought with a fierce determination, their skills and courage tested to the limit as they sought to repel the enemy onslaught. But even as they pushed themselves to the brink of exhaustion, Zara knew that they could not hold out forever. The power of the heart of the Velorum called to her, its whispers growing louder with each passing moment. It promised her the strength to end the conflict, to bring a swift and decisive victory. But Zara knew that such power came with a terrible cost, and she hesitated, torn between her desire to protect her crew and the fear of what she might become. As the enemy fire intensified and the shields of her ship began to buckle, Zara made her decision. With a deep breath and a silent prayer, she raised the heart of the Velorum above her head, its crystalline surface flaring with a blinding light. The universe around her seemed to slow, the chaos of battle fading into a distant hum as the power of the device surged through her body. Zara felt herself becoming one with the fabric of reality, her consciousness expanding to encompass the entirety of the nebula. With a thought, she reached out to the minds of her enemies, her presence filling their hearts with a profound understanding of the futility of their conflict. She showed them the beauty of the universe, the potential for peace and harmony that lay within their grasp. One by one, the alien ships ceased their attack, their weapons falling silent as the realization of their shared destiny washed over them. Xander, his face contorted with rage and disbelief, fought against the tide of change, but even he could not resist the power of the heart of the Velorum. As the last of the enemy ships stood down and the battle came to an end, Zara felt a profound sense of relief and exhaustion wash over her. She had done it. She had brought an end to the conflict, not through force of arms, but through the power of understanding and unity. But even as she savored the moment of triumph, Zara knew that her journey was far from over. The heart of the Velorum had shown her the true nature of the universe, the intricate web of connections that bound all things together. She had seen the potential for a new dawn, a future where the peoples of the galaxy could live in harmony and peace. With a heavy heart, Zara made her final decision. She would not keep the heart of the Velorum for herself, nor would she entrust it to any one individual or faction. Instead, she would return it to the heart of the nebula, where it could continue to guide and inspire the peoples of the galaxy for generations to come. As she stood on the observation deck of her ship, the heart of the Velorum cradled gently in her hands, Zara felt a sense of peace and purpose wash over her. She had faced her demons, both within and without, and emerged stronger and wiser for the experience. The universe lay before her, a vast and wondrous expanse filled with untold possibilities. And though she knew that the road ahead would be long and difficult, Zara felt a renewed sense of hope and determination. For she had seen the dawn of a new era, a future where the peoples of the galaxy could stand together as one. And with the lessons she had learned and the strength she had gained, Zara knew that she would be ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. As the heart of the Velorum slipped from her fingers and floated gently back into the swirling depths of the nebula, Zara smiled, her eyes filled with the light of 1,000 stars. The adventure was only beginning, and she could hardly wait to see where it would take her next.